All right, everybody, we are back with, part two of today's stream here on the Radio Misfits Podcast Network. High noon, I am Pugs Moran. We do this every day. I don't need to reset. Headlines, topics, trends, all the things that people are talking about. We run through them right here on the show. Apologize for that. I don't know. It hasn't happened in a while, so, knock wood. That's good. The internet crashed. It completely crashed. Everything went down. I was like, oh, geez. I am worried about the daily streams as we move into the Texas summer here. Because if last summer is any indication, here comes the sneeze. I can feel a sneeze coming. My nose started to tingle. I will muscle through it. If last summer is any indication, there's going to be like multiple momentary power outages throughout the day, whether it's July, August, or June. So I am worried about that moving forward. Geez, should we ever have an interruption like that, just know that if at all possible, unless the power stays out, I will resume the. Well, hi Cheryl from beautiful Canada. Welcome to the show. If we do have a power outage like that again, where everything crashes, we'll regroup pretty quickly. Okay, so here we go. Where were we when we got interrupted? We were talking about the trend, the thing that's trending, Musk fake out. Okay, so I guess I did I, guys? I need to know. Anybody, Byron, where was I? Byron, I know you were there when when we were interrupted. What was the last thing I was talking about? We were talking about how Musk never really wanted to buy, or at least some experts who are, guys who know way more about this stuff than I do. They're saying that Musk never wanted to buy Twitter, that it was all just, here's what they're saying. I know I didn't get this out. They're saying that, everybody knew that there was some turbulent times coming for the stock market, as we've seen in the last couple of days, although it seems like it's rebounded a bit today, at least the Dow Jones. If I can pull that up really quickly, we'll see exactly where it was. It was up 400 the last time I checked it today, as opposed to being down 400 yesterday. So, even Steven, that's how it always works out for rich people. It is up 200. It's up 200 now, 211. So, okay. But what people are saying is that a lot of people anticipated this, that they knew that things were coming because of the war, because of, different indicators that were pretty obvious to people who are, into that kind of thing, which I'm not. But the belief is that Musk used the fake out. This is why Musk fake out is trending. That Musk faked out that he was buying Twitter to come up with an excuse for him to be able to sell off a whole bunch of Twitter stock, because that's what he needed to do. Remember, he didn't have the 44 million that was required to make the purchase of Twitter. So what he did was he came up with, I think, 21 billion. Sorry. So he came up with 21 billion. And then the rest was funded to him through banks and other funding sources. So he had to sell stock in order to come up with that liquid cash so that he'd be able to pay it. Experts are now saying that was just the excuse for him to be able to sell stock, because he knew that some stuff was going down with the, with the stock market. So whatever, this is where we are. That's why Musk fake out is trending. In other news here, grand jury is trending. The Justice Department has opened a grand jury probe into former President Trump's handling of documents. This will go nowhere. This will go nowhere. This is just another of the many things that they have come up with that, get certain people on the left all excited about it, and nothing happens. It ain't gonna happen. Teflon, man. Teflon Don. He's the original Teflon Don. He can do anything. It seems like he can do anything, because I'll tell you, as someone who's pretty independent in the middle here, it looks like they're accusing him of a whole lot of stuff and ain't nothing sticking. So there you go. What are you going to do? Can't do anything. Also, it should be noted that I checked this out during the little 10-minute break that we took there while we were trying to get the computers back up and running here. Trump is now trending for another reason, because again with the experts, People are saying that Trump is now signaling to all of the people in his inner circle that he probably isn't going to run again for president. Here's what they're saying. They're saying that he will. Here's what he likes. He likes the rallies. He likes going out there and having everybody cheer for him and all that stuff. Although, I guess attendance at the rallies and the enthusiasm at the rallies has sort of, fallen off a little bit. That is said to have been affecting him. He also, here's the problem. He's such a polarizing figure. He doesn't want to lose again. He doesn't want, I don't think that, well, not I don't think, but this is what the experts are saying, that he can really sustain, another loss. He's ran twice, won one, he's 500. Maybe that's where he wants to stay. He's also getting a lot older, and running for president, to truly campaign for president, that's a difficult gig. So what a lot of people are saying now is that, he's close friends with DeSantis down there in Florida, that what'll probably end up happening is that Trump will sort of seat himself into a position of kingmaker. And it'll probably be DeSantis that he will say, well, I'm not going to run for whatever reason. He'll come up with some reasons. It won't be because he's too old and it's too taxing, because, he's the healthiest human on the planet. Just ask drunk Dr. Ronnie. that's what he says. So it'll be DeSantis, and he'll probably back DeSantis, and he'll go out and he'll do the rallies for DeSantis. DeSantis will do all the heavy lifting, and he'll be comfortable in a role of kingmaker. But the problem with that is that the entire MAGA world does not back DeSantis. They are going to see this as an opportunity. So what you're going to have is you're going to have like 5 different people all running to that same base. And that base, remember now, if you look at the last 2 elections, that base isn't even enough to win the popular vote. And that was when there was just one person running. So do you really think that they're not going to cannibalize? I do. They'll cannibalize each other. You'll have DeSantis. You'll have, I don't know, somebody that Marjorie Taylor Greene wants. You'll have somebody that, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be crazy. And then here's the real problem for them, which I see. Let's say that ultimately DeSantis does win the nomination. Let's say that it comes to a 2-person race between whoever the Democrats choose and whoever the Republicans. Well, it'll be DeSantis in this scenario. So it'll be DeSantis versus that person. Here's the thing about those MAGA people. They'll run as a third candidate. There will be a third. There might be a fourth. There might be a fifth. They will sabotage themselves, because you can make money for running for president. Even if you don't think you're going to win, you can accumulate a war chest, and you can do all the things that raises your profile. And whether, I don't know what's important to you, maybe your profile on social media, maybe your profile being on Fox News or OAN or whatever it is, maybe that's important to you. Those are all the things that will come with being a third, fourth, or fifth party challenger. So unfortunately, what we'll have in a general election is that group of people, the MAGA vote, is going to end up being split, because some don't like DeSantis and some don't like this person, or whatever it's going to be. And you're going to have one unified lefty, God forbid it's somebody, on the super far left. You'll have some crazy lefty who's running unopposed, who the rest of the country is going to vote for, not because they want to vote for him, but because look at the crazy people on the other side. It's going to be another one of these hold your nose elections. Now, here's how this changes. If the Democrats are dumb enough, and I don't look, this is not part, I hope I'm not coming off as partisan. I am just looking at the landscape the way I see it unfolding. The only way the scenario I just laid out for you fails is if the moronic Democrats, I thought you were going to be partisan. They're morons. The Democrats are morons. The Republicans are morons. They're all, both of these parties. If you belong to a party, what's the Jeff Fox? You just might be a moron. If you think that there is one party that is better than the other party, you're a moron. It's just the parties are both corrupt. They're both insane. One might be better than the other. I don't know. I'll leave that up to you to decide, but they are both ridiculous. And the only way that the ridiculous Democrats blow this election with a Trump-backed candidate and then 3 other like in the wind, third, fourth, fifth party candidates running, the only way the ridiculous Democrats blow this is if they run Hillary Clinton again, which they might. Which is just, it'd be the chef's kiss of the Democratic Party. Yes. sabotaging yourself, because what's going to happen there, and you won't have the same situation as before where a lot of Democrats were united and they just held their nose and they voted for Hillary. What you'll have this time is just an incredibly low turnout. People just will not. They don't. There's nobody. I don't know. Thankfully, it's 2 years off before we have to really start talking about this. But that is the thing that just popped up that I was reading before when we went on to part two, is that a lot of people are now saying Trump ain't going to run. He ain't going to run. He wants to be a kingmaker. He doesn't want the work. It's a lot of work. He liked the idea of being powerful and being, but it's a lot of work. He's a gentleman of leisure. He's a billionaire. He likes to golf. He doesn't like criticism. He doesn't like that. A lot of people with immense power in their personal universes do not like to be criticized. So presidency is probably not the day in and day out work of the president. Doesn't appeal to him. He likes the power. He likes being the president. I don't think he likes doing the job of president. And he is getting older, and he don't want to do that anymore. He just wants to golf, hang out with his hot wife, and do that kind of stuff. So there you go. So that's why Trump is trending right now. I hope that wasn't partisan. I hope that was just me looking at what's happening and going, here's what's going to happen. Let's see here. So Mega Millions is trending. Did you guys see this? The Mega Millions deal that happened the other night. I think it was the New York drawing, the dude in New York. So Mega Millions did their nightly, and this number is 2, and the next number is 3. They do that and the balls come out. So it was an $86 million Mega Millions payout day. And dude read the wrong number. He read the wrong number. He said and it was understandable. I too have struggled with 6 and 9s. They look very similar. Well, the sex position is named that for a reason. They are just inverted versions of one another. That's all the 6 and the 9 are. So when a 9 came out, it was upside down, and Lotto dude misread it, and he said 6. So according to the Lotto dude, the numbers ended in a 6. And if you had the 6, you heard the Lotto dude tell you that you just won $86 million. Unfortunately, it wasn't a 6. It was a 9. So Mega Millions has stopped. They're like, hold up. We ain't giving anybody any money, and they've put a hold on it. So if you had a 9, you actually won, but you were told that it was a 6 because you see the guy reading the numbers, he got it wrong. Now, unless you're a complete idiot and you were watching it on TV, and you had to have been watching it on TV because you heard the guy misspeak. If you were watching it on TV and heard the guy misspeak, you then looked at the ball and went, but that's not a 6, that's a 9. I don't understand this controversy. I don't understand this. The people with the 6 didn't win. It wasn't a 6. It was a 9. Just because the guy misread it doesn't change what ball came out. So I'm sorry, it would suck. Like if you were reading them, and who does that? Are there still people that, okay, I got that one. And his 6, that looks like a 9. He said 6 though, right? Yeah, it looks like a 9. But he said 6. I'm written. Okay. So maybe you're crestfallen once you realize that it wasn't a 6. But where's the controversy? This has people going back. Where is the controversy? It's the winning numbers are not what the guy says. The winning numbers are what the winning numbers are. And the winning number was a 9, not a 6. The idiot said it wrong. That doesn't change what the winning number is. So that's why Mega Millions is trending. Byron says it's going to hurt the 6 people's feelings. We can't have that. That's absolutely right. Yeah, I know. That's what I thought too. You had one job, dude. You had one job to just get the numbers right. Maybe the ball shouldn't be rolling around all upside down and inverted when we have a troublesome number like the 6 and the 9. They are troublesome numbers. Some might say the 3 is troublesome because it looks like an E, but there are no alphabet. There are no letters in the lottery, so that's not a problem. Psychopaths are also trending today. People are talking about psychopaths. Why are psychopaths trending? Psychopaths are trending because MRI scans and doctors and researchers are now saying that psychopaths have bigger brains than regular people. Now, hold on. This is not to say that psychopaths are smarter than other people, because I know that, oh, he's a big brain. Just having a big brain doesn't mean that you're smarter. It's about how much and what areas of the brain that you can, tap into. It has nothing to do with, he's got a huge brain. I know that in common language and in common folk talk, calling someone a big brain means they're smart. But just because psychopaths have a bigger brain doesn't mean that they're necessarily smarter. All it means is that the portion of their brain that moderates a lack of empathy. Well, I'll read it to you. Here's the thing. Here's what they're saying about it. MRI scans discover one key brain region that's bigger among psychopaths. And guess what? It's the region that makes you violent. That makes sense. They're not smarter. They're just, do you have the brain of a psychopath? A new study reveals that a key brain region is significantly larger in people who develop psychopathic personality. Researchers at Nanyang Technical Institute in Singapore used MRI scans to, I think I pronounced that right. Nanyang. It's Nanyang. Nanyang Technical Institute in Singapore used MRI scans to show that the sound it out. Striatum is approximately 10% larger in psychopathic individuals compared to people with no psychopathic traits. This region is part of the forebrain, an area that contains the entire cerebrum and which helps to coordinate cognition, motor skills, and action planning. Also, decision making, motivation, reinforcement, and reward perception. So what makes someone a psychopath? Psychopaths are typically individuals who have an egocentric and antisocial personality. They generally lack remorse for their actions and display a lack of empathy for others. This can lead to a greater tendency to commit criminal acts. I think that based on this description, that the United States of America is about 50% psychopaths. I really do. I think that a lack of remorse, a lack of empathy, antisocial personality, coupled in just some wildly unnecessary egomania, that is something that I witness in people all the time. Maybe me, although I would say that I'm more of a self-loathing narcissist, which is a strange conundrum to be caught in, but hey, that's my life. Although previous studies have found a link between increased activity in the striatum and the psychopathic behavior, researchers say that it's been unclear what role size plays in the behavior until now. All right, so psychopaths need more stimulation. The new study scanned the brains of 120 participants in the United States before interviewing them using the psychopathy checklist. Along with finding that psychopaths' striatum is larger than the normal person's, the team found that having a larger striatum also increases that person's need for more stimulation. Thrill kills. This comes in the form of more thrills and excitement, which also increases the likelihood of someone engaging in more impulsive and dangerous behaviors. The striatum is also part of the basal ganglia. Ross Rubio, there's a band name for you. Basal ganglia, a cluster of neurons inside the center of the brain. The basal ganglia receives signals from the cerebral cortex, the brain region controlling social behavior. A better understanding of the striatum's development is still needed. Many factors are likely involved in why one individual is more likely to have psychopathic traits than other individuals. Psychopathy can be linked to a stroke. Okay, so basically it can link to all kinds of things, but mainly they've found that it is genetic. So if you're a psychopath or if you're married to a psychopath, those kids might be psychopaths. Not different than sociopath. They're, psychopaths and sociopaths are different. I might be a bit of a sociopath. I'm not a psychopath, though. There is a difference. There is. Neither are good. But there is a difference. All right, so that's why psychopaths are trending. Dog barking law. We mentioned this as I hear my dog out in the backyard barking at squirrels. There is a new dog barking law. This doesn't seem, I don't know why this is trending. I have no idea. I think maybe it's trending because it's in a big city. So it's a suburb of Chicago. So when things with a larger population based around them get broken as news, they tend to trend. And then you're like, well, I don't know why this would be trending nationally. Aurora is a city in, Wayne and Garth. Remember from Wayne's World? They lived in Aurora. Aurora dog bark law. City limits how long a dog can bark for. Now, here, let's go into this new law. City in the Chicago suburbs is regulating how long a dog can bark. That's not rare, right? I mean, I think we here in Highland Park, we have dog barking laws. And we have cops come all the time because the damn dog barks. Although our dog never barks. Here's the rule. Aurora has approved a new excessive noise law. If a dog barks for more than 15 minutes at a time between 7 a.m. and 10 p.m., the owner could get a $100 ticket. The cops have come here. Our dog never barks. But CeeLo never barks more than 15. Well, I guess if we're not home. And she has a dog door where I guess we don't know how long she's going nuts on squirrels and people in other backyards. I don't know. Aurora has approved a new excessive noise law. If a dog barks for more than 15 minutes at a time, the owner could get a $100 ticket. This law mimics other laws from coast to coast, limiting the amount of time that a dog is. Neighbors would need to make recordings or find multiple witnesses to report the violation. Well, everybody's got a recording device on their phone, so that shouldn't be too hard. No. Oh, this is very interesting. Norm is trending. We're not talking about George Wendt's beloved character from Cheers. We're talking about Norm Mcdonald, one of America's favorite comedians, one of my favorite guys of all time, who died last September, I believe. I think it was September, somewhere back in there. Norm Mcdonald died. Well, guess what he did before he died? Norm Mcdonald, knowing that he was going to die, filmed a stand-up special about the end of his life, about dying. Now, he was sick. So apparently he'd been writing, and he knew that he was sick since 2012. So it's not like he didn't have time to think this through and work on the absolute best material. So Norm Macdonald had compiled all of this material about his, imminent doom, and he recorded it. He recorded it in his living room by himself, and it's an hour worth of his final stand-up comedy dealing with him. This is really interesting. This could also be incredibly sad, and it also, and I'm gonna lay this out here, it could also end up being the greatest stand-up comedy special of all time. Talk about somebody who would be giving no Fs. And Norm Macdonald was a comedian who really had very few Fs to give anyway. This could be very interesting. It's coming to Netflix. In a comedy first, the late actor comedian self-shot a final hour of new stand-up to be released in the event of his death. The material's fantastic. I hope people appreciate that he did this, said his agent and manager. One of modern comedy's greatest talents made one final stand-up special before he passed away, and it's been kept a secret until now. Norm Macdonald, who died last September, I got that right, at the age of 61, privately shot an unreleased one-hour stand-up special. The acclaimed SNL actor-comedian, known for his deadpan delivery, was diagnosed with cancer in 2012, but kept his illness private. He was working on new material for a Netflix special when he had to go into the hospital in the summer of 2020. His test results were not good. So during the heart of COVID-19 pandemic, and literally the night before going into a procedure that he felt could fail, he wanted to get this all on tape just in case. As he put it, things then went south. Lori Jo Hoekstra, Macdonald's longtime producing partner, tells The Hollywood Reporter it was his intention to have a special to share if he had passed. The result was a stand-up special shot in Macdonald's living room. The actor filmed the entire hour in a single take. He looks great, and the material's fantastic, Hoekstra said. As it turned out, Macdonald made it through the medical procedure the next day just fine, and the footage was then tossed in a closet. But Macdonald became very ill shortly after. Became very ill shortly after, and before his special could be properly filmed before an audience. He ended up getting sicker, and then last August and September, and he remembered he had shot this thing on tape in his living room and asked me to find it so that he could watch it, Hoekstra says. He ended up watching it the night before he passed away. Macdonald even suggested a characteristically self-deprecating title for the hour. Norm Macdonald, Nothing Special. Netflix will release the surprise program, Norm Macdonald, Nothing Special, on May 30th. The stand-up hour is likely a first in the world of comedy, a post-mortem last joke and testament from a comic who relished defying contention. I think that's supposed to be convention. I don't know. From the various yeah, it doesn't make sense, right? It says a postmortem, last joke, and testament from a comic who relished defying contention. Defying convention. That's what he did. He defied, I don't know. They don't pay editors anymore because, the editor has to have a yacht. So paying someone 40 grand a year to make sure that shit reads right isn't really a priority. From the various conversations I've had within our circle of friends in comedy and producing, no one has heard of any comparison to this situation. Not even close, says Hoekstra, who in addition to Nothing Special, the new special, also produced McDonald's ABC sitcom Norm and his Netflix talk show Norm Macdonald Has a Show. That Norm Macdonald Has a Show was fun. It was fun. And I re-binged watching Norm Macdonald Has a Show. It was a talk show that Norm Macdonald had on Netflix. I think it came out probably around 2020, maybe. And knowing now that he was sick and that he wasn't telling anyone that he was sick, you can see it because he looks gray. He doesn't look really well, but man, was he funny. And man, was he good on that show. The new special will include clips of Adam Sandler, Conan O'Brien, Dave Chappelle, David Letterman, David Spade, and Molly Shannon discussing McDonald during the recent Netflix Is a Joke festival. It makes me so happy that I can share it, but also so sad that we can't share it with Norm, Hoekstra says. He didn't do this for the shock that it exists. He shot it because he loved his material and was proud of it. He worked so hard, and it really would have bothered him to have done all the work on this special and not been able to show it to everybody. He did it for the stand-up. I just hope people appreciate what he did. All right, there you go, man. I'll tell you, first night immediately. Boom. I may stay up. It's one of those things that can get me to stay up till 2 a.m. and watch it on Netflix. That seems like it's going to be good. Blood Moon is trending. Why is Blood Moon trending? Well, I'll tell you why Blood Moon is trending, because apparently this weekend is going to be crazy. We got one of them. We got one of these things that only happens once in your lifetime, but they actually happen like 50 times in your lifetime, but they tell you every time that it's never going to happen again, and then it happens again, and then they tell you it's not going to happen again. Total blood moon eclipse to rise over the U.S. this weekend. The moon will turn red during an eye-popping spectacle, unlike any other in the night sky, as long as it isn't cloudy. Isn't that the luck? Isn't that the luck? We're going to have one of these super rare, although not super rare actually, super rare celestial events, and it'll be cloudy. It'll be raining. The moon will plunge into darkness this weekend to create a celestial spectacle that has not been seen in the sky over the entire contiguous United States since the turn of the decade. Oh, really? Oh, really? Since the turn of the decade? You mean 2 years? You mean since 2020? Because we're pretty early in this decade. See what they do? They try and hype these things. The moon will plunge into darkness this weekend to create a celestial spectacle that has not been seen in the sky over the entire contiguous United States since the turn of the decade. It's 2022. It's 2020. That means it's happening this year. It didn't happen last year, but it did happen in 2020. The hype train, baby. Get off the tracks. Get off the tracks. The hype train's coming. Just as the sun sets over North America on Sunday evening, the sun, earth, and moon will align to create a total lunar eclipse. Folks may have to stay awake later than usual for a chance to see Sunday night's eclipse as it unfolds throughout the first half of the night. However, losing some sleep will be worth it, as the eclipse could be the top astronomy event of 2022. All right. First of all, it's going to happen in the first half of the night. So if it could start, let's just round up. Let's say it gets dark at 9 o'clock in the morning and the sun comes up at 6, right? So that's 6, 7, 8, 9 hours. So it'll happen in the first half. So half of 9 is 4.5. So that means it'll happen before 2, 3. It'll happen before 1:30 in the morning. That's not that late. If you're telling me I got to stay up to like 3:34 a.m., then that's late. But if you're telling me that the whole thing will be over by 1:30 in the morning, that's worth staying up for. We can do that. This weekend's event will be the first total lunar eclipse visible from the entire United States. Since all the way back on January 21st, 2020. There was 2019. Okay. Oh, a whole year more. Okay. So recapping now, this happened in 2019, didn't happen in 2020, didn't happen in 2021, but it's happening now in 2022. That's not rare. That's not rare. Something that happens once every 50 years is rare. If it happens every decade, it's not all that rare. It's kind of rare, but this just happened. There was also an impressive partial lunar eclipse over the Americas on November 19th, 2021. Oh, I bet that one was hyped too, when 97% of the moon went dark. But ultimately, it fell just short of being considered a total eclipse. All right. I don't care. I don't care. I'll watch it though, because I like that stuff. This like magic kind of stuff. Like I like to think of what a dude 1,000 years ago would be thinking if the moon totally went blood red. What are you going to do? Laguna Niguel, Laguna Niguel, Laguna Niguel, Laguna Niguel. You've probably been hearing this name mentioned. It's been trending for the last couple of days. Laguna Niguel is one of the wealthiest neighborhoods in the entire United States, and it's on fire. It's there in Orange County, probably one of the most beautiful places in America. It is right there on the Pacific Ocean in the hills. You know, there's rolling hills, there's beaches, there's oceans, waves. Oh, it's so beautiful. Houses, the median income there is 2 to 3 times larger than the rest of the United States. So it's the super rich. It's a place where the super rich live, and their houses are burning down. Their houses are burning down because there's a wildfire that is occurring. And, look, you live in a beautiful place. Beautiful place is sometimes dangerous when it comes to Mother Nature and wildfires and all that stuff. So a bunch of people with multi-million-dollar mansions are standing. There's a bunch of pictures here of people standing in front of their like super mansions, being all sad, wearing really expensive clothes. One guy's really upset because his collection of irreplaceable sports cars was in a garage. Like, okay, whatever. Honestly, scary. Yeah, I mean, wild Mother Nature. She's a bitch, but it's heartbroken homeowners survey wildfire damage that left wealthy community looking like a war zone. Yeah, a bunch of these people are going, it's like the Ukraine. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not like the Ukraine at all. You're going to be checking into the Four Seasons for the next 2 weeks, and you're not even going to worry about it because your insurance is going to rebuild your 10,000 square foot oceanfront mansion. And the people in the Ukraine are living in a subway. It's not like the Ukraine at all. Stop it. It's a war zone. It's like the Ukraine. I mean, it sucks and you've been inconvenienced, but it ain't like you're a middle-class family who was behind or underwater on your mortgage and maybe didn't pay your insurance last month because, the kid's braces needed to be, I don't know. And there's sob stories about a dude. I had 10 irreplaceable, one-of-a-kind vintage sports cars. They're gone. That's very sad, dude. It's very sad. Did you have insurance? Well, of course I had. Okay. All right. Well, then we'll move on. We'll move on. Not a big deal. Everything is just demolished. Everything is smashed to smithereens, and there's just this random piece of metal. And it looked just like a war zone, just like Ukraine. Darian told the Orange County Register. Darian, 38 and retired. Darian is 38 and retired. Fled with his 7-year-old daughter while embers swirled around them. So I'm not laughing at them. I mean, I'm just trying to let's put everything into context here. These people are going to be fine. These people lived in a very beautiful place, a very volatile place, and their 10,000 square foot, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, $20 million mansions all burned down. My daughter started yelling, "We're on fire," he told the local outlet. I felt myself, and there were embers on us. It was just an intense heat. By the way, nobody died. There's nobody died. Two firefighters were injured, but not seriously. And, Godspeed to them. But everybody got out. Everybody got out. It's just a bunch of fancy houses that are totally, and it is. I'm looking at these pictures, man. These houses. Yeah, well, I'll pull up the pictures. Let's see. We'll show you these pictures. You can see these houses that are all burnt down. You're not going to be able to work me into some sort of like, oh, isn't that sad? Because it's not sad. What's happening in the Ukraine is sad. What's happening when you see like a mother running with a dead baby? That's sad, okay? A guy who's 38 years old and retired and complaining that his, 10 vintage irreplaceable sports cars have burned up in a wildfire. That's not sad to me. That's just like, okay, that sucks for you, man. Sorry that happened. But that is about as much empathy as I can. Look at her. There she is. It's like, but I saved my picture of me and President Obama. You're standing in front of her burned down mansion. Oh, look at that. That's a look. Even with the smoldering ruins of the mansion, that still looks like a nice swimming pool. That looks like some good stuff going on back there. What's that? I don't know what kind of. Oh, look, it's probably the maid's car. Look at the maid's car burned up. There's another house. We don't know what these houses looked like before. They were probably spectacular. All right, there's some of the burnt out hillside. That house looks like an entire second level is probably missing. Ooh, that house is gutted. Look at that. Look at that house, though. Look at I don't know if that's the front or the back, but that balcony is badass. Dude probably stood out on that balcony in a bathrobe, drinking a cup of coffee, looking out at all that he has built. This guy looks upset. He's got his cat. This is Sasan. Sasan Darian holds his cat Cyrus as he stands in front of his family's fire-damaged home. Yep. Well, go on vacation. Go on vacation. You just go to Mexico for a couple of weeks and then come back and check into a very nice hotel in Los Angeles. You're just outside Los Angeles. There are a lot of really nice hotels. Your insurance will pay for it because you probably have paid for the premium. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. And that's why Laguna Niguel, one of America's most expensive neighborhoods, is trending and has been talked about for the last couple of days. And I'm just going to say, I cannot muster any empathy. This world is a horrible place. There are people going through really bad things. And I just can't, for a bunch of rich people whose houses caught fire because they decided to live in one of the most beautiful but also temperamental places on the planet. Oral sex is trending. This is crazy. Did you see this story? Oral sex is trending. Oral sex and the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, are trending right next to each other. And you want to know why? Well, I'll tell you why. The FDA has approved a new kind of undie pants. There is so these are safe sex undie pants for people who want to have, I don't know, anonymous safe sex with strangers that may or may not have mouth diseases. FDA authorizes a type of underwear to protect against infection during oral sex. This is the story about infection, sex, and underwear. More specifically, it is about sexually transmitted infections, oral sex, and ultra thin, super stretchy, vanilla flavored underwear. Okay, so the underwear, here's what the FDA has approved. So you put the underwear on, and it's really stretchy, and it's really thin, and it tastes like vanilla. So you guys connect the dots on that. The Food and Drug Administration has authorized the panties to be considered protection against infections that can be transmitted from the vagina or anus during oral sex. It is a first for underwear. The undies are part of an understudy. Man, look, let me just put it to you this way. I'm a bit of an idea guy. I'm a bit of a Billy Blaze. I like to come up with ideas, and sometimes a lot of people don't like ideas. I could have come up with this idea. I didn't, but I could have. This is as stupid as any idea that I've come up with in the last 10 years. But the problem is that I'm surrounded by people who go, here's why that won't work, because everybody likes to be smarter than the guy coming up with the idea. So in order to feel smarter, they have to tell you why your idea won't work, because it's not their idea, and it doesn't really affect them. So what happens with me is that, I get overwhelmed by narcissistic me. 'Cause you suck. He keeps telling me my ideas are bad. And then people who I surround myself with, who may or may not be in control of their egos, tell me that my idea sucks and here's why it won't work. You know who doesn't tell me that? Ed, who's suffering from a knee injury right now. Ed is my guy. Ed, well, actually, Ed does tell me when things suck. But you know what? On par, when I pitch Ed an idea and he tells me it sucks, 9 times out of 10, I tend to agree with him. Not all the time, because sometimes, I'm a bit of an egomaniac myself. I will stay tethered to the idea for a while. But I could have come up with this. Somebody came up with this idea. Somebody told this idea to a friend, and that friend went, good on you, friend. Let's do this. I think you can do this. But you know what? You know how I know that? Because he did it. I know that he didn't go, because this is a great, tell me this idea wouldn't have gotten shot down by like all of your buddies. You're out there drinking and you're like, hey guys, I'm glad you assembled here at the pub this night. I've got an idea for you. I want to tell you what I'm working on. All of your friends would have been like, that's stupid, dude. That ain't never going to work. Here's why. And why do they say that? Because they didn't come up with it. They say because they didn't come up with it, and what? They're going to give you credit? We don't give credit. Oh, God, now we're going down a bunny hole. We're not good with each other. We're just not. This is a brilliant idea, and I'm so glad that this dude pursued it because it's going to make somebody really rich. Oh, also, there's always a guy in the crowd of people that you assemble to tell your great idea to. There's always a guy with absolutely zero knowledge, but there's always a guy who will go, that already exists. That guy. And it's like, yeah, really? Tell me, where does that already exist? That totally already exists, dude. The Food and Drug Administration has authorized the panties to be considered protection against infections that can be transmitted from, we already talked about that. The undies are part of an understudied but important area of sexual health where the few options for protection are considered cumbersome and hardly used. So, never mind. Oral sex is not totally risk-free. Dr. Jeannie Marazzo, director of the Division of Infectious Diseases at the University of Alabama, Birmingham, said, the need for protective methods was a growing importance because more teenagers are initiating their first sexual activity with oral sex. For people of all ages, she added, a protective barrier that is enjoyable to use. There's going to be dudes, there are dudes that won't wear condoms. It changes the way you feel. Yes, oh, God. All right, whatever. Still, this idea, I don't know if I would have been comfortable coming up with it, but it does seem like an idea that I'd go, that could work. That could totally work. And now it's approved by the FDA. And now it'll be where's it going to be? This stuff won't be in condom aisles. Ooh. Could it be in like a CVS in the condom aisle? Or are we just talking about you got to go to like a sex shop? You got to go to like some creepy part of town and go into some weird place with dudes in trench coats? I don't know. I would like to be able to get them in Targets. We'll find out. Anyway, we'll see how this goes. The FDA has approved stretchy, super thin, vanilla flavored underwear designed to stop the spread of diseases during oral sex. All right. And here's the last one for today. Bald. Hi, I'm a bald man. A court in England has ruled that calling. All right. So there was a dude who worked and he got fired. And he got fired for really no reason other than the boss didn't like him. But when the boss was firing him, the boss said, get out of here, you bold. And then he used, that word that begins with a C and rhymes with hunt that, here in America, it's like the worst swear word you can say. But over in England, it's basically like damn or hell. They use it all the time over there. I'm always shocked. I had a friend, James, who was from England. He was a bartender back in the day here, and he'd be behind the bar. And I'm telling you, if you were hanging out at that bar, this dude would dump 50 sea hunt words like a night. Just like, look at that sea hunt over there. And everybody was always shocked. Like, dude, this is America. We don't really use that word so liberally here. So anyway, the dude was getting fired, and the boss called him a bald sea hunt. And so the guy sued the boss, saying that calling me a bald sea hunt, bald being the word here, the litigious word, bald, that is a, what did he call it? What did he call it? Sexual harassment. Calling a man bald is considered sexual harassment, tribunal rules. The ruling came in a case between a veteran electrician and his employer. Tony Finn, 64, claimed he had been the victim of sexual harassment when his colleague said he was a, quote, bald sea hunt. I don't know. I don't know why. Also it runs afoul of slur rules over there in the UK. Whatever. I don't know. I'm a bald guy. I don't care. You call me bald. You call me bald. Call me fat. It's what I am. In these two areas, I am self-realized. I may be wildly self-unaware in other areas, but in those particular areas, I am very self-aware. So you call me whatever you want. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's show. That's just about everything that's been trending. You know what? Here's what I'll do, because we did have a little bit of a break when the internet crashed earlier. Let me look and see if there's anything new that is trending. We'll go over that. I have a big week. It's my big week. And my kid. I gotta go get my kid, and I gotta pick him up from school. So that means that I gotta get all the way up to Plano, and I gotta shower, and I gotta clean. So I got stuff I gotta do so that I can pick him up on time there. Deep Ellum is still trending. Deep Ellum is still trending nationally. Look at that. That's interesting. Friday the 13th is trending. Be safe today. Fred Ward is trending. We talked about that. Fred Ward died. The Right Stuff. Gus Grissom. Kendrick Lamar is trending. He's got a new album out. So if you're a Kendrick Lamar fan, his new album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, has been released. Israel is trending because Israeli police confront crowds at the funeral procession of a slain Palestinian journalist. Bette Midler is trending. Oh God, what did she do? I follow Bette Midler on Twitter, not because I'm a Bette Midler fan, but because she's nuts. Because she has no filter. She just says shit, and people get really angry at her. So I started following her because I'm like, ooh, this old bird is crazy. Bette Midler is trending. Let's see why. I bet it's because she said something. Actor Bette Midler's tweet saying that breastfeeding is free and available on demand in response to the baby formula shortage is met with a backlash. I don't know anything about that, but there you go. That's not like the craziest thing she's ever said. She says crazy stuff. Deep Ellum is still trending right up here in the top 10 of Twitter. Breaking 2 dead, 300 in Deep Ellum shooting, Dallas police say. Rand Paul is trending. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul has blocked quick passage of a bill to provide Ukraine nearly $40 billion more in aid. Rand Paul has done that. There you go. Texas Supreme Court, we talked about that. Peloton is trending. Don't care. Robert Pattinson is trending. The Batman. Because it's his birthday. We already covered that. Brittany Griner is trending. We covered Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner's Russian detention has been extended for another 30 days. Stevie Wonder is trending because it's his birthday. And SIDS is trending. We talked about this yesterday. SIDS, a study published by researchers in Australia, has found a correlation between infants who died from sudden infant death syndrome and low levels of BCHE enzyme, indicating a potential marker to be able to test children and babies for high-risk levels of SIDS in the future. Wonderful. There's nothing sadder than SIDS. Famously known as crib death, where you wake up in the morning, you can't wait to see you. Oh God, I don't even want to go there any further. That is no fun. All right, guys, that's going to do it. Appreciate you. We've got a big weekend with the boy. So excited to be. We got a big weekend. It's birthday weekend. His birthday was in the middle of the week. His birthday was Wednesday. And I had to give him back. We split the birthday day. I had him the night before and in the morning and dropped him off at school. And then he went to mom and he had that night and all of that. I don't know. It's working. Whatever. He comes back with me this weekend. I think we're going to do Top Golf. I think we're lucky because It's also Big E, the master of the 1%er compound. It's also his birthday next week. So we're like, let's maybe do a joint birthday party thing. Let's go. Let's go do that. So I think we're going to do a lot of fun stuff this weekend. So there you go. We'll see you back here on Monday for another high noon edition. I apologize for the last 2 nights of Pillow Talk being canceled. The first night it was canceled because it was my kid's birthday. And I hope you understand that. There was, just stuff that I wanted to do. And although I didn't have him, Zooming and all of that, spent a lot of time with him opening presents and all that. And that all went down right when we were going to be doing our show, because they went out to dinner and then came home and did presents. And so that's why I had to cancel on Thursday, on Wednesday. And then last night, I wanted to watch the Mavs. I wanted to watch the Mavs game. And I figured we do this show here in Dallas, and there are a lot of people who probably weren't going to be there because the Mavs game was a very big deal here locally. Everybody was watching the Mavs and the Suns. Big win for the Mavs. And so we did that. We went and we watched the Mavs game yesterday. So I appreciate you giving me a pass on a couple of missed Pillow Talk shows, but we will be back. And I may, who knows? Who knows? Maybe tonight we'll do something. I don't know. I'm thinking like maybe tonight I'll do something, but I'll have my kids. I don't know. Just put a pin in it. I owe you a couple of days. Let's put it that way. Okay. I owe you a couple of Pillow Talks, and we'll make that up on the back end somewhere. Yes, you can support the show. You can go to the Venmo. You can go to Pugscast on Cash App. The show runs on tips. Your kindness is appreciated. It's how we continue to do these shows, 2 a day, most nights, unless the Mavs are playing. And yeah, so thank you to everybody who does support the show. And if you haven't, treat me like your bartender, treat me like your barista, drop a little something in the tip jar, and we'll keep doing them regardless. But your help is definitely needed and deeply appreciated. All right, so on that note, we be out of here. Let's get our John Hinckley closing theme, Never Ending Quest. Although it is Friday and my kid is in weightlifting class. Or is he not in weightlifting class? Does he go to weightlifting? No, he is. Let's hear what he's listening to. What is he listening to? Hold on. Yep. This is what my kid is listening to currently in school. Did I mention he's in school? He has like I think it's, I don't know. He says, no, you always end your show when I'm in weightlifting. Okay. I don't know what that's about. There you go. So I'm going to take over it for a minute, and I hope he's not struggling with a major bench press right now, because Travis Scott is about to be interrupted by John Hinckley.
I have got my poetry. I have got my songs.
All right, thank you, folks.
See me through the lonely nights. Help me to be strong.
Yeah, Tartan, Fred Ward died. We talked about that early in the show. I'm also a bit shook by that. I love Fred Ward. Fred Ward was awesome.
I am like the dancing bear, trained to be the best.
Fred Ward was one of those dudes that I would never go to a movie because it's a Fred Ward movie, but Fred Ward was always one of those dudes when I was watching a movie and Fred Ward popped up, I'd be like, Fred Ward! It was always cool. We all die. He left a cool legacy. He was Gus Grissom in The Right Stuff. We should all have that for future generations to just... That dude was cool. Gus Grissom was cool. And it took a cool guy to play Gus Grissom.
A multi-answer test. I am on a never-ending quest.
Although, there is, if you're a fan of The Right Stuff like I am, there is sort of a portrayal of Gus Grissom shitting the bed a little bit. So not literally shitting the bed. I mean, it was he screwed something up and it was depicted in the movie. But still, Gus Grissom was awesome and Fred Ward was awesome. All right, bye everybody. Appreciate you. Damn right, it's an all-time favorite. Me too. I love The Right Stuff, Tartan.
so baffling to some. I have got an old guitar, that is all I need. I don't need no 401, I don't have their greed. Down the road I'll travel, far from the comfort nest.
Got the nasty
On
love.
a never-ending quest. Tomorrow is another day, the best is yet to come.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Wait, I want to jump back in here. John, absolutely. Tell Dick I said hi. He's going to see Richard Hunter. Dick, BDH. He's going to see BDH in concert at a stand-up show that he's doing. Please tell BDH I said hi. Tartan says, why are you saying sea hunt? This is a rated R show, correct? Yeah, I mean, I can say whatever I want on this show. I just don't. It's an ugly word. It's a vulgar word. There are women in the chat room. It's different here than it is in America or than it is in Britain. People in Britain use that thing like the way we say dude, you know? So, I don't know. It's a vulgar word. So, I don't know. Just not comfortable saying it. It's vulgar. Have fun, John.
So baffling to some. I can smile a little now, things are going good. I always had to be on guard, that is understood. Down the road I'll travel, far from the comfort nest. I am on a never-ending quest. I am on a never-ending quest.